this took me a long time to edit, and you'll see why. Hi, welcome to Match Island Tropical Escape. And the thing is with this one is that it's called Full Release Recap, and you might be wondering what that is. Well, last time I recorded for my beta, I ended up coming glitchiness and all that, and I was told by one of the developers to be like, hey, try replaying it again in the beginning because we've done a lot of changes. So I figured for archival purposes I did that, so I replayed it. I got to where I was, so from the month of July to August I ended up catching up, which was easy. And I figured I might as well show you the end result of that. Before I do though, there's some things I wanted to show you. Mostly just these pictures they posted on their socials with, you know, people like Hugsley, you know, Andy, for another example, another one being Elvis, another one being Jim and Jake. At some point, they also posted this, which is probably, again, I feel like in the future I should just be, like, clipping the post as well as not just the pictures, because I've been trying to rethink what exactly happened here, but I'm sure it was something to advertise with the game, but I digress. But before we jump into the game, one thing I wanted to throw out there. Usually I show you the in-app icon and whatnot, and so this is weird. I don't know why, but here was the in-game icon for the game. And yeah, as you can see, Amy is like anime-fied, and her eyes are weird. She's like normal. She's not like with the black eyes and anything like that. So it's very bizarre. I like it, but you know, it's a different art style. It's like, I don't know how to feel about it. You know, I got so used to the chibbiness, so it's just weird to see that kind of happening there. But I digress. Anyways, we're going to jump into the game from beginning to end. So I'm going to tell you how this works. So how it's going to go is I'm going to be showing you all the key features. I'm going to be voice acting some of the stuff again, but only to new dialogue. Anything that is old, I'll leave out. So if things don't get voiced, that's why, because they've been covered before. Some of the, later on, what you'll notice is that in the beginning, all the stuff has changed. They're shorter now. But when we get to, like, after Hugsley, the quest line is basically the same thing, except some words are changed and some things have been changed around. You'll see what I mean when we jump in there. The biggest change that came up, first of all, is something that I was amazed to hear out of nowhere. And, well, let me show you exactly what it is.
After graduating college, Amy Smith was eager to start a brand new life as a businesswoman. She packed up her things and left her parents' home to find a future in the Big Apple. But luck wasn't her name in sight. Every job opportunity seemed to fall apart, one way or another. So Amy started thinking, life in the city might just not be right for her. Night after night, she sat at her desk thinking about how to make things right. She'd almost given up on all hope when an ad that would change her life popped into the screen. It was about a place called Match Island. An island that seemed full of dreams and opportunities. So the next morning, Amy Smith packed up her things once again and left for a new life on that idyllic island.
Yeah, that's right. We got to hear somebody from within Pixowl to actually voice act the main story there, which is very bizarre. This is the first time I ever heard this in a game. But yeah, anyways, I love this thing here.
So, here we are. I guess this must be my new home.
That's right! Match Island in all its glory. Well, not exactly in all its glory. It has seen better times, and I'm sure it will again. But first things first, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Pixie, and I'm here to walk you through your first steps in this adventure. We're here to turn this island into a city, but we'll need some money for that, so let's get to work. I need some help with these boxes. You can find your new task here. Tap on notifications to check them out. Play puzzles to earn coins and complete tasks. Tap here to give it a go.
So yeah, you're going to see a whole lot of this. This is basically the tutorials replaying itself again.
Match 3 identical pieces in a line. Remove wooden crates when making adjustments matches next to them. There are only 9 left.
And what you'll notice too is that when it comes to these stuff, if you remember when we were playing, you were like, huh, what is this weird thing? Well, in the game, they'll actually explain to you what exactly everything is. And I'm going to be talking a little bit more, especially when it comes to changes with Pixie.
Excellent. I think we have what we need. Now look at the time. We should get started with your home right away.
Whoa, a home in this place? Just imagine everything we can do here.
Yeah, we could do that, but we're just going to fast forward this because we've seen this before. Yeah, anyways. So, if you remember correctly, way back when Amy, not...
Now I'd like to introduce you to our city planner. This here is,
Oh, he's talking to me.
Oh, this is embarrassing. I seem to have forgotten your planner's name. That's right! I'm sorry about that. Grim here is to make our islands as beautiful as they come. Shall we get started, Grim? We need your help to build Amy's new home.
Okie dokie, then we'll do that.
Check out the island market to build new homes and decorations.
So I've basically kind of briefly seen the new stuff when it comes to, like, in the August update, but, anyways, these are gonna go quick.
I love this house, and the view from the first floor must be incredible. My cat would have loved it. Lazy Elvis, he would have laid by the window purring into the breeze all day long.
So this is no, she's thinking about Elvis there.
Anywho, this is just perfect. Thank you so much, Grim.
Funny, she's actually talking to me directly. So yeah, one of the weird changes that you might have seen back in the August update, which was the water park thing, is that the characters actually, when they come talking to you, they'll talk to you. And oh yeah, they're like, oh, do you want to do this, the old one or the new one? So I said data from this device instead of the cloud, because the cloud is glitched, this one's not. So after I do this, it's like, that's it. So it's going to change from right there. But I have a lot to talk about, especially with some of the changes when it comes to Pixie in particular.
Oh my, I think someone else might be coming already. Yes, the plane must be near. I feel it in my feathers. We'll need to start building your house, and it's only a matter of time until the rest starts arriving. We'll need someone to make room for all their houses. There's so much work to do. Who are we going to call?
Gee, I wonder.
Oh, right. That's what you're here for, Grim, aren't you? Thank goodness. Would you mind giving us a hand?
I love how the game breaks the fourth wall. Like, they go into the effort to have the characters, like, you know, because in this game, you're actually part of the story. That's the whole gimmick of it. But I love the characters actually break the fourth wall and talk to you directly, which is, like, beautifully done. It's so well edited. Like, you can see the love and care that went into the game, and that's partly why I kind of love this. Anyways, I've been mentioning this with Pixie. If you remember, if you've seen, like, the in the Bible, there's, like, the Old Testament and New Testament, how the Old Testament was like, God was this evil, like, he hated humans. And then the New Testament's like, oh, God loves everybody and all that stuff. Well, that's exactly what happened to Pixie here. You'll see.
Good. You two must be, Jim and Jake. This here's your neighbor, Amy, and our city planner, Grim.
Pleasure. I was just telling Jake maybe we could build a common wall or something between our houses. But personally, I'm on the fence.
What I mean by that, he's a little bit nicer. He's not much of a dink. Kinda.
Ah, Match Island. Inhabited once again. It's been a long time since someone set foot in this place. I can already feel the buzz of the city. People coming and going, rumbling with the sea's tides. Oops, I'm sorry. I left the four of you hanging there. Let's get started with something simple. Grim, we'll see about the buzz and rumbling later on.
And he's talking to me too, like he's looking right at me. Again, I'll still never get the hang of that, the fact that these characters are talking to me. It's so bizarre, because I'm never used to having games actually go ahead and be like, ah, yes, you player, you playing right now, I'm acknowledging you.
That's 4 identical pieces in a line to get a special fruit jam. Excellent. Now make a line with the fruit jam to open it.
Oh man, this is getting fun.
Match 5 identical pieces to get a fruit candy.
Uh-huh.
Make a line with the fruit candy to remove pieces around it.
Yeah, so see, as you can tell you, they're actually giving you a tutorial of how these things work. And, yeah, when we first started the game, this didn't happen, but now it's actually there. It's actually, like, telling you all the stuff you need to know. Which is actually pretty good when it comes to new users, especially people, like, who have never played Match 3 or Candy Crush stuff before, this is a good thing for them to kind of learn. But yeah, part of the if you watched through my beginning beta pits, you'll probably notice some of the changes as far as dialogue goes. It's a lot more quicker and shorter and stuff.
Beautiful. I say I'm delighted, but I'm actually delighted. This island will wind up looking even better than it used to.
Pixie, are you saying this place was inhabited before?
Yes, it was, Amy. You find Match Island is full of secrets, both bright and dark. But there's no point in talking about that now. It's time for the four of you to get settled. So I'll just leave you to it. The island's now yours as much as it's mine. Make sure you take care of it.
So right here, you remember back then, it was just like, Amy was just like, what do I do here? And he's like, well, I'm not telling you that. No, this one, he's just like, you do whatever, I don't care. You know, you could tell, like, again, this was, that beta was Old Testament Pixie, this is New Testament Pixie. He's still the same Pixie, but he's a lot more nicer, and he's not much of a dink like he was before in some cases, so some of the charms got lost.
Alright, alone in the island, finally. Just look at this place. The beach, the warm sand, the sea. There's so much to do. We could set up some benches, make flower arrangements. I haven't felt like this in years. After all the time I spent in the city and even back home, feeling like I didn't belong anywhere in the world. Right, we got an island to decorate. Let's do this.
I still love the characters talk to you. It makes it so personal, and it gives that little charm. This is one of the reasons why I loved playing this game, because it's just these little things here that you show that they actually loved this property.
Remove pieces under inflatables to let them down to the corner.
I just hope that people actually loved it itself, because the worst thing would happen if people were just like, they give so much love to something, and then everyone's just like, don't like it. Puzzle games in my, you know, what is it? It's like, you got my puzzle games in my builder city town thing, and it's like, you got my town thing in my puzzler thing. You know, because this is weird merge of things together, which you wouldn't think fits, but I guess it's because what happened with the Addams family. Like, this whole thing is because of the Addams family. It's a whole match gimmick type thing. Although, I will say, the Match Island name is kind of generic when you come to think about it. Oh, man.
Hey, what's that?
I don't know. I think it's coming from that trailer over there.
I haven't even seen it before.
Come to think about it, me neither. Is there someone new in the island, Grim?
Yep, he just brought his trashy trailer onto the floor there. I don't know why, but I love it too. They kind of give you like, oh, you can hold and move it, like as soon as you touch it, and then you connect it. By the way, they always have this, to connect to Facebook to get 25 things, never happens. I don't know why it's not working. You have to link it with your personal, like either your Google Play or your iPhone account thing. Hello, neighbors. Nice to meet you. I'm Bob.
Oh, hi. Welcome to the island. Hey, what was that sound you were making?
Just some overtone singing. Getting in sync with nature.
Right. Shouldn't we set up some rules about excessive noise or something?
Well, there's already 5 of us, and it looks like more might be coming. Maybe we should think about setting up a town hall.
Yeah, so this is the other one, Alone on the Island, open up a gift. So remember, it would be like, oh wow, there's these weird boxes we got, like what we need. They don't acknowledge us at all. They probably learned to be like, maybe we shouldn't talk about this. Oh yeah, infinite lives for 60 seconds. Wow! Thank you so much. Actually, it's for 15 minutes, but it's hilarious to think about. You get it for 60 seconds. It's just like, oh, under a minute? Wow, thank you so much. That's so great. That is completely useless to me. God. Oh, great. More puzzles. This is going to be part of the game, isn't it? Well, anyways, let's see what Pixie has to say, because it's probably something new.
You have a limited number of moves in each level. You have 28 in this one. Match 5 pieces in a line to get a multicolored jump booster.
Funny he's saying this now.
Imagine a multicolored juice with the...
Yeah, that's okay, Pixie. I got it. Just match the puzzles with stuff. Like, I figured it out before. Like, if you told me in the beginning before this, I'd be like, oh, okay. But, you know, it kind of reminds me, there was this weird thing where, I think it was like a Lilo and Stitch game, where they ended up, like, you jumping over something, and then afterwards it's like, oh, the jump, press the X button. It's just like, geez, thanks for telling me that. I already figured it out. In order to get the information, I had to jump. It's like, why did no one playtest this and think, yes, you know. Oh yeah, and one of the other things too is if you notice that the lovely pawn thing that was there in the beta is not there anymore. I mentioned this before during the beta that they decided to get rid of it because they couldn't find a way to have the people stop walking over the water stuff. So, because it was basically roads for them. So they didn't know how to code it, so they're like, get rid of it. Who cares about it? You know. I think the spacing issue is going to be the hard part here. Oh yeah, and you need to be level 10 in order to get the costumes, so that's interesting. Yeah, and oh my god, look at all the stuff that we got locked. Man, I remember when we actually had stuff. I remember how much rubies we had. Oh, why did the game have to break on me? But, you know, I guess in hindsight and better wise that it allows me to show you this, so in other ways, I'm able to kind of go ahead and give you more insight with how these things should go. Anyways, I'll put this down. Oh, yeah, and he's going to tell us something interesting when it comes to these buildings. You know, most mobile games tend to do this. You'll see what I mean.
Topic building allows you to speed up its construction time.
Wow, really? Oh, it's for free this time.
You can use gems or watch videos to skip the waiting time.
Yes, Grim, that's exactly what we needed. Thanks. A town hall. A place to make decisions, to make things happen. I say we assemble right away. Was that noisy?
Nah, it's just that all this excitement really worn me down.
Huh. Getting tired kinda easy there, don't we? Alright, it has been a long day. I think it's time to turn in.
Also, Amy's a lot nicer here, too. She was more of a dink when it came to Bob. It's like, huh, you getting tired there, huh? You know, kind of thing. Again, they did some good changes as far as making it be a little bit more nicer in sense. Oh, yeah, and then we get this here where they kind of talked about the loop thing. I mentioned this before in my beta, so I'm not going to mention it here. But, yeah, basically... Again, this whole thing is a recap. It's basically just recapping new things that happen and some of the interesting, weird things that happened during the time. There were some minor bugs that happened you'll see around during this time. What you'll notice is that most of the dialogue is going to come within that time. After we go after Sama's quests, before we get to the whole Amy loves Bob quest line. What you'll notice is that I'll end up skipping a lot of the dialogue because after that point, all the dialogue has been basically the same since the beta. So they only changed up to that point as far as dialogue stuff goes. But anyways, let's continue on with this quest.
Building. Island. Warm sand. Beach. Sea.
Having fun, sweetie?
Mom? Is that you?
Yes, hon. I see you eased up pretty quickly after leaving the city. Is that the new plan? To let your hair down on a tropical island and do nothing?
Dream. Just a dream.
Yeah, so we're getting the hint about Amy's mom that we now know was somehow here before. And, yeah, it's weird to see the relationship between her mom and, like, now. I mean, I hope they kind of build that up a little bit to kind of have a better understanding of what's going on there, because, I don't know, it just seems very bizarre. Like, man, this whole game is bizarre with drama.
So lovely to meet you, Prudence. I see Grim already gave you a hand with your new home. Yes, thank you, Grim. It looks quite like my home back in London. It's lovely.
Kind of nice that she's actually talking to us during this time. Lovely detail.
So I hear we're building a city from scratch, huh? That's a lot of ground to cover, isn't it?
Mind you, it was kind of hard because she was in the building, but you'll get better chances to see.
But we still haven't been out there to explore the island that much. And I gotta say, I'm kind of curious. I feel like there's so much more to this place than what we've seen. Then why don't we take a look around? I'd like to check out the beach over there. Yeah, let's! It's time we get our dainty hands a bit dirtier and start digging up a new place, isn't it, Grim?
Yep. Oh boy, play level 5. Of course. Alright, let's see what Pixie has to teach us now. Alright, here we go.
Combine boosters for more powerful effects.
Wow, this is when I learned, oh wait a minute, you can actually put boosters with other color boosters? Wow! I didn't know that, I was a dum-dum. Yeah, I was a dum-dum. Man, the amount of times that this happened before, back in 2020, and this, like, God, man, I really just hate when that happens, man.
I truly can't believe I'm here. I really needed this. The rush of the leaves, the soft breeze. It gives you the sense that everything might just work out, doesn't it? Yeah, everything will work out. I'm positive. So what if I still don't have a clear view of what I'm doing here? Right, Corinne? There's no Russ. Is there?
I'm actually kind of curious why she just decided to up and leave to go to the island.
No. I'm definitely going to be the manager of a hotel. This might be a good area to build it. Yeah, but first I think we should consider building a restaurant in the area. And any good beach should have a tiki bar. Manager? Tiki? Gosh, you really thought this through. Of course, but not just talking, right? Let's get to work. Chop, chop. Chop? I really liked her better when she was talking about the sand and the breeze.
Look, what I mean by that is that, you know, we know what Amy's story is because of the beginning. I just mean, like, why did she decide to leave from city to just some no-name island? I don't know. Anyways, we're going to be taking a break because these are going to be very long videos, so be right back.
Use a spade to cut off any tile without using a move. Brandon wasn't great with the spade.
It's weird that they call it a spade, by the way. I thought it would be like a shovel or a, you know, I don't know, something else that's a little bit more, I guess there's a proper word for it. Anyways, welcome back. There's another commercial break that's going to happen at some point, but not for a little while. We have a few more here. But anyways, yeah, we got this going on here. We finished that off. So now, all we gotta do... Oh, by the way, for some reason, the audio in this recording seems to be off for some reason. Don't know why, but it is. I think it's kind of fixed now, but yeah, very odd. Anyways, here's Pixie again, because why not?
Make matches in the tile with jelly to remove it.
Yeah, so they call it jelly, but it looks like bubbles. I think originally it was supposed to be jelly, but then they changed it to bubbles because, I don't know, makes it easier to see. But it's kind of hard to see for over there. I don't know. It just... something I've noticed. And yeah, this is so weird. The audio for this particular clip is glitched for some reason. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why. That's very bizarre. It didn't happen before, but... Alright, well, it's happening now. Hopefully the next time we come in for the clip, it should work, or it should fix itself. But I digress. It's whatever. You know, again, game's fully launched, but sometimes things don't work out the way they're supposed to. But, yeah. Oh well. Oh yeah, we got this going on here too, so that's interesting. But, yeah, I'll skip that because, nothing interesting happened there. No dialogue, nothing like that. We've already seen them before, so I'm going to save you the trouble. Oh yeah, and we also have that on the side. Again, I showed it off in part 10 to the beta, so it's not really worthwhile. We are going to jump into the things we've missed.
Look at those timbers. It's exactly what I wanted, Grim. No reservations about this restaurant. She really knows what she's doing here, doesn't she? Hey, Prudence, do you think it's weird that I still don't know what I want to do here? No, not really. We could think about it together, if that's what you like. Planning's kind of my thing. After all, 2 heads are better than 1, right?
Yeah, isn't that cute? Yeah, New Girls in Town 3 is done. As you can see, it's very short, right? Here comes the next one, Countryside. This is also a three-parter. So you remember, it used to be a little bit longer, but they cut the fat out in order to get some of the stuff. Yeah, so the Pixie quest here, if you remember, we didn't get to complete that for the end. I will actually highlight this during my playthrough.
Hey there, neighbor. Ready to get started? I thought we'd come to the beach and let sea inspire us. It sure worked for you yesterday. I think the way to go about this is take a walk around the island to see what it has to offer. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. No use just staying here then, right? Let's cover some unexplored grounds. There's a whole area pretty set up over there, deeper in the island. Maybe we'll see something useful there.
Alright, so they could do the job hunt there, and of course gonna play some more with Pixie, so let's see what he has.
Use the rake to clear off a row in the column. Break the wooden crate with the rake.
Yeah, so this is interesting with the rake. It actually breaks both columns there, but I've skipped it. And anyways, as you can see here with Pixie, we're skipping his dialogue because we've seen this before. However, something interesting has changed. This. As you can see, the background here is actually a lot more new this time around. They actually changed the background. He's not the only one that's changed. Something to do with Elvis has also changed. So this is interesting here. And yeah, see, so that we get her pics, we get a picture of that here. And there is slight dialogue change in this in this quest line, and it's actually going to come up after this one. So it's about, yeah, and I see that there. So right about now.
So Match Island has been the only uninhabitable island in the America archipelago for the past decades. That is, until they reassigned it to me and gave me a second chance to make it right.
Yes, and then after that, it's basically the same from before. So yeah, they changed the wording slightly, so it's still kind of the same dialogue, but as you notice, they changed words a little bit. And again, you'll notice if you've watched my beta and then watched this, you'll be like, ah, okay, I see what they changed here. So I had to do my homework. I had to see, is this the same dialogue from the other game? Yes? Okay, not doing that. To save me the trouble instead of me having to do all over it again. So I'm only highlighting the things that's changed dialogue-wise. So it could be new. Yeah, and there's Pix. Man, I really want her to come in there. I want to see some drama with Pixie and Pix, man.
Look at all this water tank, the hay bays. They really had to build a whole city here, right? I wonder what made the former islanders just leave everything they built behind. It seems like such a waste. But now it's our turn, and we won't quit Lunch Island, right, Grim?
Well, that's the hope anyways, but we don't know that. Maybe something else will happen and will cause us to kind of run away from the island. You know, it is very small after all. Maybe we need to expand it or make it man-made. I don't know. But yeah, I'm moving Jim and Jake's stuff over here because, you know, the boys are farmers. They need this land.
Hey guys, we just looking for you.
Oh, hey, what's up?
We just needed to borrow Grim for a while. We've decided to start our own farm, and we need a hand with the layout. Yeah, we're great with getting our hands dirty, but we don't have much an eye for beauty or functionality.
A farm, huh? Am I the only one who hasn't figured out what to do yet, Grim?
Yes, but don't worry, you'll figure it out in a minute because, well, it's interesting how this whole thing kind of comes about, especially with the changes, but as you can see, things have just kind of quickly got to the resolutions. So again, part of the other thing that's changed here too is the dialogue from the beginning parts, so especially when it comes up here.
How are my lovely islanders doing today? I see you've been giving the area a little sprucing. I gotta say, it looks darn good.
Yeah, Grim was just helping the twins set up their barn. What were you doing?
Oh, just laying the ground for my new business. I thought it'd be nice to plant a couple of apple trees and then later on start selling your apples. And I'm looking for an extra hand for the apple picking part, if you're still looking for a job.
Apple picking? I can't say I'm completely sure that is what I want to be doing here in the island. But I'll give it some thought and let you know, Pixie. Thanks.
See, Pixie's a nice guy. He comes in to try to help Amy with her problem. Also, I found it interesting that Prudence's came in midway.
No, huge apple wants to eat me. I can't, please.
Just take the apples, sweetie.
Mom, again?
Yes, honey. I thought I popped by your subconscious again and remind you of the importance of hard work. You didn't think I'd work 2 jobs all of your life just so you could enjoy yourself at the beach, do you, Peach Pit?
Gotta do something about these nightmares.
Yeah, so again, job hunting, place apple, collect the apple, and all that stuff there. It's funny, too, with the whole nightmare thing. As you notice, she's dreaming normally, and then there's another one now that's basically more like she's having a bad dream. So, yeah, so again, they did their work, artwork for this as far as, like, changing stuff and stuff goes. Oh boy, guess what? Yep, more puzzles. And kind of play it. Alright. So we skipped that because nothing interesting happened there. So don't worry about that. Yeah. And as you can see, it's very easy to get to 30 this time around because I'm a master of that stuff. But I'm going to have to do it again because I have to get the Pixie's quest to ask for it. And then, you know, we'll go from there. But anyways, we got this shed here, which I guess I'm going to be putting down for Amy for whatever reason. But yeah, I'm putting it in the farm because this seems like a farm thing to put it, right? There's the, yep, right there. Right there, the, blah, blah, blah. God. I was doing so well, too. I was doing so well, but I overstayed my welcome with working hard, and now I'm paying the price, because now I'm starting to yawn. Worst thing to happen. Oh, and this happened here.
So you've decided to join Pixie's business? Yeah, I gotta say, I had my doubts, but I'm actually enjoying myself. It's nice to get things done for a change. Grim's been a huge help too, settling the shed for me, so I could store my tools and everything. Sounds like doing work better for you than thinking, right? Yeah. I guess the only way to really know what you want to do is just trying things out until you find what you like, right?
Yep, and there we go. So now we got Hugsley's house. And, yeah, so we're now going into fears. So, as you'll notice, when it comes to this next part here, when we're going to play through the quest line. Oh, yeah, we got this, because this is the first time now that they're actually advertising this stuff here. Oh, yeah, and by the way, that's a special building, so you only get the locomotive if you actually buy this. So, that's kind of crappy. Originally that didn't happen, but I guess it's happening now, so yeah, I guess that sucks, but I guess it's their way of trying to get you to buy the stuff. No, you still get it on 19. I don't know why it's saying it's unique. They're liars. Yeah, so as you can see here, I'm not actually bothering to do the dialogue for this part here because it's exactly the same from the beta. So, again, I'm only archiving things that have changed as far as things, you know, new things, not old things. Old things already did that before, so I'm not doing it again. I'm trying to save my time here. This is taking long enough, by the way. I've recorded everything, and I mean everything. So I had to cut it down to what was actually new stuff, so, yeah.
Try out the bucket to swap 2 pieces without using a move. Swap these pieces to set up a booster combo.
Kinda cool. Oh yeah, I see what they mean. Yep, good, very good. Yeah, God, I'm starting to regret it now. I guess I'm gonna have to, after the break, I guess I'm gonna have to go to bed and then come back and finish the last bit once everything's fine and dandy, like sour candy. But, yeah, let me just try to see what else I need to talk about, what I want to do. It is interesting to see how things have changed as far as the different wording goes. Like, for example, this one coming up here. You'll see.
Ugly?
Ah! What? Ooh!
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want to scare you. I just heard there was a new neighbor in the island and I wanted to say hello on my way to work.
See, they actually changed Amy a little bit. She's a little bit more nicer.
Sorry, but before, I didn't see you coming. I was too focused on everything I had to do. Gotta fix the cupboard, unpack all my clothes, get a job, sweep up the place. Oh, and buy a broom, too. Gotta write that down.
Ugly? What's that?
Ah, this is my to-do list. It got post-its with everything I gotta do.
Again, it's kind of the same thing like before, except the wording is different and they changed the dialogue slightly, so yeah. But anyways, we got this here, and as you can see, this is pretty much the same here, except now this here is gonna change now.
Listen, we're just having to meet my friend Prude. Today's Grim's helping us set up a shop for my new fruit picking business, and Prude's in. Would you like to come with us? We might be able to help you with a job thing.
So as you see, things have changed.
Set up. Visui. Wagon. To do. Organize. Visui locomotives. Shipment. To do. Decide if neighbors are likable. To do.
Lovely to meet you too, Huxley. He's a bit, eccentric, I guess, but I thought he could use some help from us. I guess we could give him a hand after finishing with our stuff. Got everything we need, Grim?
I guess I do. Well, I mean, we need the fruit, and then we need the end. Oh boy, I guess not. I guess I have to play puzzles for 2 times. But we are going to get a new gimmick.
Big batch with frozen pieces to break the ice.
Yep, so it's actually talking about the ice bit here. So, again, what you'll notice is that they actually talk about different things. Oh, by the way, what you just saw right there was what happens when you actually combined 2 of the jugs together. So, I just recorded that real quick, so now you got to see the effect of the awesomeness of 2 jugs together. It's like, mwah, awesome. Yeah, I've actually gone to level 23 real quick.
Make match next to sand tiles to break them and prevent them from expanding.
Yeah, so, again, we're cutting some things here because it's going to make my stuff easy. But the reason we're actually doing a lot of this stuff is because of this quest here. The old quest. The one I didn't get to complete. This one.
Now that's what I call juicing things up. I haven't seen the island reward someone so much since... well, since I first got here, actually. I see we're in good hands.
So yeah, now we've completed the juicing matching island thing for Pixie's quest. Which is great because this actually helps me out as far as things go. If you're curious, this is actually happening in the 13th. So I've been actually kind of getting quickly through this stuff real quick.
Now, that's a job well done, right? You've outdone yourself once again, Grim. Chapeau! Now, let's see how we can help you, Huxley. I've heard before you like trains. How would you feel about driving one here?
Then he's like, oh, no, I couldn't even, I mean, too difficult. You know, again, dialogue, same thing as before. Oh yeah, and of course, the bears jumping in front of the trains. That was hilarious. And he's like, oh, why would the jump bite the train? And I'm just like, maybe it's a depressed bear. You know.
So far, we've got no public transportation, no cleaning, no sales, no customer service, no contact with animals. We're kind of running out of possibilities here, Huxley. You're literally scared of everything. I'm sorry, but we can't help you if you're scared of everything.
Yeah, I know. Maybe we should just call this whole thing off and I can head back home. It's been hours and we've got nothing.
Hold on. At least we know what you're scared of. And fear's a part of who we are, right? We're getting to know you. Why don't we take care of something else while we mull things over? Maybe if we analyze your fears a bit, we'll find something out.
Again, the new changes is very interesting. I will have to say that here.
Listen, Huxley, I think I owe you an apology. Prude was right. Your fears are part of who you are, and I think the reason why I don't get them is just that, well, they're not my fears.
Gotta love the whole cutting thing here, like they've actually cut the fat a bit. As you'll notice here too, moving forward, a lot of these are going to be cut a lot more because we're starting to get to see a lot of this stuff here. And, yeah, so it's going to be a lot more talking about stuff. I also want to point something out. When I'm doing the dialogue, you might have noticed that some things are kind of slowed down a bit. That's because I've been clicking on it and thinking, oh, yeah, we've seen this before, right? And again, I'm starting to skip some parts ahead of time because I'm only showing you things that are new, interesting, things I've missed, all that stuff and more. So, again, if I don't show it during this time, all you need to know is it's basically the same as the beta. So if it's new, you'll see it here. If it's same as the beta, it's basically, you know, this stuff here. So anyways, again, this whole thing of just Same thing with here, collecting apples and stuff like that. The same thing as before. And, again, I had to pay attention. I had to go back to my videos and watch because I had to make sure if this was correct. And they were. And things have changed a little bit when it comes to new stuff. So, yeah. So then we got this here. So let's do that.
Excellent! Now we should get organized. I think we need a list of all the islanders and their business and assess what their needs are in order to...
Whoa, easy there, Hugs. Before you start organizing and assessing and researching and whatever it is you want to do, I'd like to take a moment to think about our mission.
Our mission?
Yeah, our mission, our purpose, our function, our manifesto.
See what I mean? Things have changed.
Is it our mission to deliver fruit?
Yeah, of course it is, but that's just what we do. We need to think about who we are. It's one of the fundamentals they teach you at business school. You need to set an identity for your company if you want to succeed.
Okay.
I think our company should be all about growth, but also about not losing our childlike sense of awe and wonder. We should be like children looking for treasures in the sandbox. We should always aim to jump higher from the swings.
Yeah, so then again, they go like, oh, you need to do this little thing, and I'm just like, oh, I get it, okay, I got you, I'm gonna do this stuff here. So anyways, I think it's about time we take a little bit of a breaky poo. I need to take myself a nap, or a break, or a sleep, and hopefully by the time I come back, I don't yawn and be tired, and I actually have more dialogue to talk about, so see you soon. Welcome back, let's continue.
Well, you took that quite literally, Grim. But yeah, that's the general idea.
Looking for... sandbox treasure. Swinging higher. I'm not sure I get what you're saying, Amy.
Oh, never mind. You'll get it later. I think we're ready to start. Where do we begin?
If we're going to do deliveries, we should get some clearance with Pixie about regulations on food trucks.
Yeah, and then this part here is going to be basically the same from before, where he's just like, oh, hello, my lady, what can I do for you? You know, the type of stuff there, and then him getting pissed off when he realizes what she has planned. And yeah, it's a lot quicker and shorter to the point, but yeah, anyways. I'm back, as you can tell, but it's been a little while. I thought I had enough sleep, but I guess I didn't. But, yeah. Anyways, these are going to be a lot more quicker and kind of cut pace. Like, you'll see. Like, basically, when it comes up to here, there are some dialogue changes, but not a whole lot. Most of them are pretty much the same as before, but now we've come into a point where most of these dialogues are pretty much the same as before. Except for this part coming up here.
I mean, the apples did belong to him in the first place.
Hugs, trust me on this, okay? There's nothing he can do. Just go organize the inventory and we'll start offering our services.
Again, it's so slowed down because I had to stretch out because I was clicking fast because I thought I'd seen this before, but that wasn't the case, so, you know. At some point when you had to play these stuff again and again, it's kind of like, ooh, I don't want to do this anymore. You know, just like things from before. Yeah, so this is the other thing too. When it comes to, yeah, Pixie's dialogue here. It's the same thing, except it's different in, well.
And do not mess our oranges on joyous treat for your mouth.
If you remember, he said joyous treat for your teeth, right? So I guess they changed it slightly. But yeah, it's the same thing here, you know. You know, why are you doing this? It's just like, oh, I merely take my business. It's like, but it's my idea. And the fruit pick, it was mine. Oh, come on, Pixie. Neanderthals did it first. And, yeah, so this is where he kind of cuts in here. And he kind of does this. Right? And then this is where it comes into her saying this.
How about that? Huxley just saved the business. Didn't think he had it in him.
Yeah, weird. But anyways, now we got to Sama. Now, at this point, Sama's quest is basically mostly just the same as before, except now you're starting to notice that some of the words and dialogues have changed slightly with some of the wordings, but it's basically the same as before. But after we go after Sama, once we're done with Sama, everything else is basically the same. No new changes whatsoever. So there's that. And I think part of the reason is because Sama's Point, the quest line, is about 6 parts, and I think it was a little bit longer before. This time, it's not the case. Oh, God. Man, you'd think you'd had enough sleep, but I guess not. Apologies on that. I did go to bed, by the way. Yeah, anyways, it's the same thing from before, like I've mentioned many times at this point. But we're going to start cutting, like, keep on cutting from time, because as you'll notice, after we're done with this quest line, things will start getting cut a lot more quicker, and I'll be highlighting different things that have happened as far as stuff goes. So we're going to be welcoming Sama into here because there is a dialogue change that has come up here, one wording anyways, when it comes to this here, which I believe is this one here.
His name's Sama. They say he used to live here a long time ago before the island was abandoned.
Which is interesting because we actually found out that that was the case, but they didn't mention this before. I'm wondering if they did this now because after we found out this was the case, you know, it's weird. Anyways, here's another dialogue change coming up.
You know, since we have you here, we were thinking Grim could set up a well for the island. Yeah, purifying water is a total drag. Maybe you could add that to your business as well.
Again, most of the dialogue changes is basically just trying to shorten things down to kind of get to the point, so a lot of the fat got cut out. And some wordings and change, like, again, like, for example, the joyous tree for your teeth instead of, like, it's now your mouth, which makes a little bit more sense. Oh yeah, and then we get this cut here. Give us 5 stars. It's a weird pop-up, but okay. Weird size. Alright, so now we got the shed here. And the reason we're putting the shed down is because it's quite interesting. It's going to help complete the Elvis's quest. And the reason for this is, as you'll see in a moment, what you'll see in a moment is that Elvis's quest line actually has, like what happened with Pixie, there's new pictures that got added that actually shows a little bit more with... So the dialogue in Elvis's quest line has not changed, but what has changed is the background, as I'll point out in the beginning, because if you remember, she was describing, wow, look at all this stuff here, there's just so much things, right? And you'll notice that this will be the same thing coming up. Anyways, we got that. So yeah, anyways, it's basically the same thing here. And one dialogue change happened.
So I think we're ready to get started with today's deliveries, aren't we?
And everything else is basically the same as before. So, like I said, I'm only going to highlight different dialogue changes in the dialogue. So, if I'm not showing this again, it's basically because it happened before. The same thing. What you will notice is that most of this stuff, most of this video is basically the beginning stuff, and then afterwards it's just a way big skip after the fact. Just because, like I said, nothing's really changed, but there had been some weird things that happened here and there, which I'm gonna mention and show off. And I think at some point I did record myself talk, so we'll get to that point in the video where my past self will talk to you and me. I recall exactly what was going on at that moment, but yeah, it's again, in the future, I think doing this recording on the day of is a lot more better, I think, moving forward. And I think after playing through this game, I'll learn how to do new games moving forward better. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about here with the changes with the background. Actually is a little bit different, as you can tell. It's a little bit dark, like you can see something, but you can't really see what's going on there. The dialogue is the same as before, though. Nothing's really changed. But anyways, then she's gonna go, oh, where's the light? And then she's gonna turn on the light. Yep, there you go. So as you can see, there's a golden apple, as he's described, and there's the blue secrets, and Pixie and Pix over there. And yeah, the golden apple, as I described before. So it's interesting that we kind of get to see a bit of this, because it is like a bit of subtle hint of what was to come. But I do love the lore that they kind of build with actually talking about, you know, what the purpose of them are, or what their real reasoning is. But anyways, yeah, this is just the thing I was going to show you for Elvis's quest. Everything else is basically the same. So yeah, they've actually added a little bit more to it as far as adding more picture and visuals goes. Anyways.
Make matches or combine boosters in the tile with water to expand it and make the sprout pot bloom.
Again, they do a good job with telling you what each things are supposed to do when the new gimmick comes in, which is something that you would want to have happen in the beginning, but they never did. But, yeah, this time they actually did do this. And the other thing, too, is that they actually made the water animated. What I mean by that is that it actually is moving around and actually looks like water. So they did a good job. Again, they did such a good job with, like, the details here. And yeah, I'm fast-forwarding this because, you know, to save your own sanity here. Because, again, we've seen this stuff before, so we're not going to bore with that stuff. And yeah, we're fast-forwarding this because, again, nothing really interesting here. Same thing, but, you know. Alright, so we're going to have a bit of a different change when it comes to this. It's same thing with Pixie and his Sama's talking here, but it's a little bit different as far as the dialogue. Like here's what I'm talking about.
Oh, right. Well, you've got your apples already, don't you?
Yeah, so as you can tell, he's just like, he's not pissed off at him anymore. You can tell that he's a little bit more, like, he's a little bit better in this sense, right?
It was our first day and we weren't even able to deliver Bob's apples on time. I mean, what would my mom say if she's seen this?
Again, interesting with the whole changes and stuff like that. And, yeah, other things happen too.
Amy, we came here because we know you didn't have the best day, and Pixie's having a barbecue, so we thought that might cheer you up.
Oh yeah, the infamous turtle soup. I remember that. Oh boy, this is funny. Especially with the whole, like, yeah, the whatever that's supposed to be, the Batman soup. But yeah, you could see how they changed Pixie. Remember Pixie before? He had, like, that little bit of a temper type thing, or he was kind of a dink. Well, this time he's, like, more of a goofball, right? Which is interesting. Oh yeah, and then here's another thing that's changed with the, well...
Plus, we're wasting Grim's time. You still have work to do, don't you?
I don't actually, Amy. What are you talking about?
I'm just going to take a walk for a while. I need to be alone.
Yeah, so you can see where I was clicking fast and I didn't even... Like, in hindsight, you don't think there's anything that's changed, but I can reassure you that, yeah, there was some change as far as dialogue things concerned, but, you know, yeah, hindsight's 20/20.
Huh. A supermarket. Just like at business school. Am I just falling all over again, only in a different place, Grim?
And this is where Slama comes in with this stuff as before. As you think it's changed, he's a wise old man indeed. And I think after this, there's not much as far as dialogue change is concerned, so we're not going to see this anymore. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. But yeah, now we're moving on to the her falling in love with Bob thing. Nothing's changed from that, so it's still the same thing. And you get to see, if you remember, when I did the edit, I was just like, it's a dream, that's why it's so foggy, ooh, but you'll probably see here, this is like the normal thing, like, it's actually supposed to be. Oh yeah, and we got oranges too, so, again, at this point, most of the story is basically the same now, so there's not much change as far as things are concerned, so I'm not going to go highlight some of the stuff like that, because again, at this point, a lot of it's basically the same, so I'm not going to highlight. But yeah, like, when I did my video in the beta, everything was foggy and was echoey kind of deal, to kind of give the whole thing like, oh, something's weird, and it's supposed to give you a hint that, oh yes, it is a dream, right? But, yeah, I think if I did this before without recording, like, on the site of, then I think it would have not worked. But anyways, so after this clip, we're going to be cutting or jumping through time a bit, because I'm only going to show off some interesting things that has happened during my playthrough. Because again, nothing's really new happened, and I'm gonna, like, this video has been long enough, and I had to cut a lot of footage out that was just useless. So anyways, we're now on the 17th here, and see, you got this here, and there is actually some weird dialogue change as far as this here, alright? This one.
A romantic dream with Bob? Well, that's new.
Yeah, so anyways, now we're just going to fast forward this a little bit because, again, I don't want this to be too long, so I'm just going to save you the time. Alright. And we're going to go to the next day here to see... And again, I'm going through these a lot quicker because how they've set everything up, but I digress. So now we're on the 18th. Again, we're fast-forwarding this because, you know, I'm trying to make this kind of go by. But as you can quickly see, you can pause here if you want, but it's basically the same as before. There's minor things have changed as far as, like, now the characters talk to you, so it makes it more personal. Whereas before it wasn't that case, but yeah, it's interesting. But anyways, now we got this here, so we got some apples. Yeah. So again, I'm just showing you this just to show you that this has not changed as far as stuff goes. I think maybe something got cut, like a quest line, but for the most part, it's basically the same as before. I haven't noticed anything different or weird. But I'm just highlighting this because, you know, just to show you that there is absolutely nothing that's changed as far as, like, dialogue and things go. It's basically the same from before. So, again, it's so weird listening to this fast forward, but, again, it saves me on the trouble and everything, so, believe me, it just... Oh, that's first time I'm hearing this type of music. Okay, that's weird. Yeah, so anyways... Yeah, so we got that. Yeah, gonna go over here. Gonna put this down. Yeah, alright. Yeah, a lot of this. I'm just fascinated by the fast forwarding of this, just to kind of go through here. But yeah. Man, this is the longest I've actually seen this go fast on this type. To hear this music kind of going quick, it's just so weird. And then you hear the boom, 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 boom. Oh, God. Alright, next day, the 19th. Alright. So as you can see here, same thing. Nothing's really changed as far as stuff goes, right? And this is where she's like, oh, I had some romantic feelings about you. And this actually makes sense because, as you know, there was a weird glitch where we got to go ahead of what we're supposed to do. So they actually changed this now. And now we go to Skadoosh, right, the burglar. So as you can see, it's again, nothing's really changed as far as things go. It's the same as before. So now, I think after that, we are going to be jumping a bunch as far as time goes, because at this point, there's nothing really interesting or new that has changed. So I'll give you a quick hint. So here's this first clip. So this one's just showing you a proper cut this time, so they actually fixed it. And this is now taking place on the 27th. As you can see, this here, the reason I'm showing you this is because if you remember before, during this part, there was this weird thing that happened where, what do you call it, Almo or Amu, whatever his name was, he was in the shot here. They fixed that, so that's not the case anymore. But I thought it was hilarious that when it happened, when the glitch happened, it was just like, okay. But yeah, as you can see, the dialogue's still the same here as before. But, yeah, I digress. Anyways, here's a past recording of me on the 29th.
I'll make a mental note on this here, but I've noticed when it comes to some of the prizes, like these puzzles, normally in the old beta, it used to give you an item every time. This time, though, it's like every so often it'll be like, oh, here, have this special, like, box, you know, like... It'll depend on which one. I've been getting rares, epics, legendary. I can only see if it's happening to like an extra hard one. But I just wanted to throw this out here that it's interesting how this is the case. Also, I've noticed that some of the buildings, like, it doesn't go as past as this, and then you go over here, and it's like up to like, okay, yeah, see, so it's like up to, you know, 80. So they may have downgraded some of the stuff. So that would tell me that we've probably seen a bit of some future stuff that has yet to come. But by the looks of things, I think it's gonna go up until maybe up until the mayor. So interesting. I don't know, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's not the case. So here's a proper look of Amy's doing the flipping the burgers. And this is now taking place on the 31st. Here's an interesting dialogue exchange.
It matches with pieces trapped in the polio rope in order to break it.
So basically talking about this mechanic, which if you remember the rope itself, it's now called the boiler rope, I guess. But yeah, there you go. I think it's like one of those ropes you see in the, when you go to swimming, like to try to net off certain areas, I think. That's what they're supposed to do. I think that's what they're supposed to be for. But I digress. But yeah, one of the things that's changed... Oh yeah, and we got this, by the way. Yeah, I wonder why. That's so weird, but okay. Now we're on the second. And I just want to show off that all the characters actually talk to you now. So this is an example of, what's her name? Mia? Yeah, Mia's talking to you right now. So this is an interesting look at that in this dialogue. So that's cool. Here's another dialogue change.
Remove special pieces on top of the bench blanket to collect it.
So again, it's mostly just going to be showing you the different mechanics that comes in here that we've passed through. But one of the interesting things that I mentioned before was the fact that, oh god, glitched. Oh no, Mia got glitched again. Oh, that sucks. The 2nd, by the way, of August by now. It's still going on, by the way. I mean, she's fixed now, I think, but yeah, ugh. Alright, so... Oh yeah, the vegetable patch now is just coming soon. I don't know what the hell happened there. Yeah, so now it's like this one here. Again, you see this, right? Well, as you can see, I completed it, so I don't know why this is the case. I have to waste 100 just to complete this. That is so stupid. That's the stupidest bug I have ever seen. So watch this. I do this, and it should complete it, right? That's a waste, by the way. 100? Like, man, God. Couldn't it be better? Oh yeah, and they properly sized this time. Remember how Sama used to just go on the land? Well, not anymore. This is taking place on the 9th of August now. But yeah, so it's properly sized this time around, so that's good. Anyways. Now we have him talking, and unfortunately the bar is kind of broken on him, but you kind of see a little bit of him just kind of looking at us and doing that. And, oh yeah, this happened. This is not the first, nor will be the last time this happened. I don't know why this happened like this, but, yeah, this is a nice glitch. The fact that, you know, we got Amy in the background here, advertising a promotion while Amy's talking, and it's supposed to be like a scenic background, but, yeah, that's something indeed. Oh, right, something's gotta come up. So, around this time, the update hit with the water park update, and you know, there's some things that got changed, like added, you know, Prude's questline and all that. But something else got changed, and I can't believe I did not get to joke about this, so here it is. Hold on.
Purple guy!
Yeah. I forgot to mention, like, God, Amy's father is the man behind the slaughter. Amy Smith, more like Amy Afton. Oh, I know your secret now, woman. Oh God, yeah. Someone mentioned that, and I'm just like, oh, I gotta have to joke about that because I didn't think about it when it happened. But I'm like, yeah, he is a purple guy, isn't he? Oh God, the FNAF series is such a meme now. It's the 22nd, by the way. But yeah, at that point, I didn't get to show off a lot of this stuff. So, unfortunately, some of these things I should... oh yeah, and then we've actually got an animation for this because I actually got this here. So we actually got to see a goat, which is interesting, and it's in proper size. Although the pen is huge, for like they're tiny compared to these giants. But I digress. It's supposed to do what it was supposed to do. Anyways, we'll move this here so we get a proper look. So this is what it's supposed to be here. So yeah, it's kind of nice. I like the animations. They're kind of good and cute and things of that nature. You can see the love that happens here. But I digress. Oh yeah, and good. We got the zookeeper again. You know, just like before, it has happened again. Oh yeah, so this is the other thing that's changed. So now she actually has a sick profile for this picture here, with her finding out that she's pregnant. And, oh yeah, we finally made it to this part here. So let's just read what this is supposed to say. Check the harbor's request every 12 hours. Export specific items in a row. Import random expansion materials. This is happening on the 6th. And oh, look! Yay! We did it! It's working now. We're finally caught up. Just like that. So we went from July to the 13th all the way to September the 6th. And now we're finally caught up to where we need to go to. So there you go. So with that in mind, that is all that has happened during this time. And things I've missed and new stuff. So as you can see, not a whole lot. So yeah, that's basically it. Everything else is basically the same, and I got myself caught up pretty quickly, which is great because now there's no forced roadblocks like it was before. But yeah, there's that. But now you might be curious as to see what exactly is going to happen now. Now, from what I was told, rumor mill-wise, there's supposed to be an event that's coming up for September, and I think this one's going to be the different. Like they mentioned how there's different types of events, and this one's going to be one that we've seen before, which I think it's the Battle Pass one. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what they were called. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. And yeah, especially with this game, like how they're going to do this, because it seems like their whole finance is not as huge as compared to, say, the IP ones. So yeah, intrigued to see how this turns out. But yeah, most likely the next video is going to be posted on that. So yeah, we'll go into that there. But yeah, anyways, I guess that's it. So I've been Grim, and this has been a recap of Match Island. And now we're gonna go into the new style and see what happens now. So yeah, more adventures coming soon. So stay tuned for that.